Hi and welcome to another art class with Wilna. My name is Wilna Furstenberg and I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, and I speak with a South African accent because I lived in South Africa for 34 years. Just had to rack my brain there for a second. So in this video, we will be making a full scrapbook layout, and I created these beautiful little products you can find on my website called iheartstudio.ca. And this layout is all about this little frame, and I'm going to staple the photograph to it just with a little stapler, and then I'm just going to fuzzy cut it out. And I'm also going to be using those little squares that you can see in the left corner, left bottom corner, that I also created, little illustrations, and just these little squares that is so cute and fun to work with. You can use them on a million little things. I used them on the previous week's YouTube video, but today I want to frame the frame with these little squares. So I'm starting off with the frame right in the middle, and first of all I was thinking maybe I should use these little leaves that was cut out from, if you remember, last week's stencil. But in the end, I didn't use them. I decided to use them on next week's page. So you'll have to wait. But it's going to be the same idea of making a little wreath. But I'm using a round frame next week. So you can just tune in. But I decided to use these little squares. So I'm just going to place them around the frame. And then I'm going to use my sewing machine and just stitch them down. I didn't overthink of where I want to place which part of it, but I did want to use my favorite ones. So there you can see the gist of it. And now I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and just adhere them down with just a dot of hot glue, just to keep them in place, because my plan was to stitch them. And also just foam dots on the back of the little frame so that it just lifts off the page a tiny bit. You can see the idea of it. I love using hot glue. For those of you who are new to my channel, for me it's one of those things that prevents stuff from falling off pages later on. And I've been using it for the last 5-6 years, and I've never had a problem with it coloring my pages or anything. I just love it. I didn't work quite in the middle, that I only noticed later on, so that's one of the pieces of advice I want to give you, is just make sure that you work in the middle of your page. But I did mount my page on polka dot paper, and then I just cut off the pieces that was so that the square was square. Okay, so I use a Brother sewing machine, and I've had it for the last 10 years, and the only thing I stitch with it is paper. I actually don't know how to do any other needlework. I'm terrible with it. I'm even terrible with just stitching on paper. But I think I came away with this page without any major incidents, no major, the thread didn't, I don't know, it went okay, it went well. And I'm going to leave the long threads on it, and I'm just going to bundle it up like you see there, and I'm just going to put, the stapler won't reach, so I decided on a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to steal a leaf off my page and just stick it down. There you go. And now for the fun part. So now I'm just going to paint around the edges, and I'm also going to later on paint with a little bit of white paint, just to make the frame a little bit more pronounced, so it doesn't disappear on this busy background. So there's so many options just here with the page. You can actually just frame a normal photograph in the middle. You don't have to add a different frame to it. You can use a Polaroid frame. There's so many options. So painting with a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow, and I'm splattering with a little bit of red wine color, wine red, red wine. Wine red color. I don't like the word maroon at all. And I love the way that those drops blend, when you like the dark red that blended into the yellow. I just love that. Okay, so once this is dry, I'm going to add my frame, and then I'll be painting with a little bit of white paint around it. Okay, but first I'm going to add a couple of embellishments to it. So one of my favorite things to do is to add some embellishments to my own products, and I love it. And I love this Cute Girl collection by Crate Paper, and especially those little dolls. Just absolutely love them. And maybe it's not so very appropriate because I have 3 teenagers, but you know what? They just have to deal with it. So I don't care. This is a gold frame that I'm going to cut up. And actually this would have worked beautifully if you don't want to use one of the flourish frames that I did. You can just use one of these gold frames. And I'm just going to frame the frame with it. Just move it a little bit to the side and just stick it down. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. So the page is actually becoming a little busy for me. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, ugh, it's becoming a little busy. How can I, bring in a little bit of quiet space? But in the end, you know what? I just decided that it is what it is. And it's okay if not every single one of my pages are super calm and equanimous. It's okay. It's okay to have a busy page like this one. Because you know what? I can make another page where I will correct that busyness and make it a little calmer, which I did. So, and that's the reason why that saying for, keep calm and scrap on, it's true, because you just keep on, and it's okay. You don't have to make every page like 100% perfect, and even in its imperfection it's still going to be pretty. But you can see that I realized adding that black title will be just too much. So instead I added this gray title that says Cute Girl, and that was, for me, it was perfect. Okay, so today is October 4th in Canada, and it's actually snowing. Can you believe it? I've been in Canada for 11 years, and I've never ever seen snow this early in the season. So it's really a very weird thing for me, but it's beautiful. And what's lovely about it is that it's warm. It's like 2 or 3 degrees. I know people in like the Bahamas or Mexico or South Africa, like, what? That's not warm. But usually it can get very cold here. So it's just all relative, I guess. By warm, I mean you can actually go outside and take photographs in the snow, where in January, when it's -20 or -30, you don't want to do that. So, okay. So again, I used a little bit of hot glue to adhere even the chipboard pieces that have glue on it. I still like to use hot glue just to make sure that everything stays down properly. And I'm just placing a tiny bit of white acrylic paint on a little square of paper, and now I'm just going to paint around it with, around the frame, just to give it a little bit more space and to make it a tiny bit quieter. I don't know if it makes a difference really. I'm not completely sure, but I know for a fact that I felt better doing it. Even though I was a little sad painting over the illustrations, but maybe the frame was too much, I don't know. But like I said, you know, even if every page is not the perfect page, at least I did something. And I just love full, and I love making full layouts. And I know that I'll probably make a couple more, so it's okay to have one that you felt it's pretty, but maybe it didn't work as well as you hoped. So you can find the products on my website, iheartstudio.ca, and it is in a little mini class called Mini Class 2. And in this little mini classes you can download all the products, plus I have 4 process videos for you where I show you specific techniques. So this month I'm doing masking fluid and watercolors, which is like they are born for each other. They work together so well. And I'll show you 4 videos with 4 different ways to use masking fluid and watercolors to create beautiful scrapbook layouts. Okay, so here the page is basically done. What I did was I mounted it on polka dot paper. I'll have the link to this paper in the related products. And here you can see I added a tiny bit of journaling, and here's the page. So next up, I'll just show you a quick little video of my 4 products. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week with a new video.